If you can't take 2 days off without your business burning to the ground, you don't own a business, your business owns you. I've already built an AI system that took me from 14 hours of reactive firefighting to 2 hours of strategic leadership per day. And today I'm going to show you exactly how this thing works. By the end of this video, you'll see the live demo, understand why most scheduling systems fail business owners, and get a complete step-by-step walkthrough of every single N8N node that make this possible. Even if you're not technical, I'll show you exactly how to build this yourself. Here's what's killing your business growth. You're treating urgent and important as the same thing. Client deliverables get the same mental weight as checking email. Strategic planning gets squeezed between sales call. Your calendar is running your business instead of serving it. But what if we could flip that? Let me show you what I built. So let's say that today over here, on the 30th of June, I just have a lunch at 12 p.m. and a call with an investor at 12:30 p.m. So what I want to do is go here, and this is the inner working of the whole automation. But in order to power all this, I'm going to use Telegram. So I'm just going to say, I'm thinking of having, or let's go straight to the point. Can you schedule an appointment with my co-founder at 12 p.m. today to talk about Q4. Hit enter, and let's see what we get. So here I get you already have a lunch at 12 p.m. or from 12 p.m. to 12:30. After that, your next event is call with investor at 12:30 p.m. Would you like me to schedule your appointment with your co-founder right after lunch, say at 12:30, or would you prefer a different time? And now what I can say is, okay, let's see how this goes. I also need to schedule a meeting with my accountant, which will last 1 hour. And just for your information, the co-founder appointment will last 2 hours. What do you suggest? So I'm going to hit enter on that. Here, I have, here's your current schedule for today. Based on your preference, co-founder meeting 2 hours, accountant 1 hour. Here's one option, 12:30 to 2:30 meeting with co-founder, ends right at your investor call. And then I have the accountant meeting, which can be before lunch, for example, 11 to 12 p.m. So let's say that potentially, let's see, would you like the accountant meeting? Let's go with option 1. So let's give this a second. Here, your updated schedule for today is 11 to 12 p.m. meeting with accountant, 12 to 12:30 lunch, 12:30 to 2:30 meeting with co-founder, and then 2:30 I have the call with an investor. Okay, cool. And I'm going to take this even further because obviously as the day goes by, you don't just have these 4 sort of events. You might have different things. So what I'm going to say is, okay, this is great. Let's also add an hour and a half of focus time. I also need to finish watching the business video I started yesterday, which should take 30 minutes. And let's also find a time to have a break for about 1 hour. My workday ends at 6 p.m. Can you give me some thoughts on this? So I can send this. And obviously the power of this is that I can run it while I'm on the go. I can just dictate this to Telegram, which I'll show you in a second. It's not just about text. And then Telegram will connect to N8N, share what I just said with the agent that has access to my calendar, and then it can come back with the decisions. And these will help me to get my day in order. I can do this the day before, 2 days before, or however long before I want to actually plan my days. So if we go back here, this said, here's your schedule so far. Assuming the investor call lasts up to 1 hour, here's a possible layout for the rest of your productive time. 2:30 to 3:30 call with investor, 3:30 to 5 focus time, 1.5 hours, 5 to 5:30 finish business video, 30 minutes, and then break of 1 hour, 5:30 to 6. Although this extends past your workday, Alternatively, you can have a 30-minute break and slightly adjust other tasks. Alternatively, if you want your break earlier, you could do call with investor 2:30 to 3:30, so that stays the same. Then we have a break, then we have focus time 4 to 5:30, and then finish business video 30 minutes. So let's say, okay, let's go with the last option. Let's go with the last option. So here you can see that I just sent it a voice note, and let's see what we get back. So here we got your updated schedule is now as follows. If I go back to my Google Calendar and refresh this, you'll see that this matches, where are we? Telegram and Google Calendar. So here, if I switch to day view, you'll see that these match. So here we have meeting with accountant, 11 to 12. We have lunch till 12:30. Then we have meeting with co-founder, 12:30 to 30. Call with investor, 2:30 to... okay. I think this was from what we had done before. So yeah, this is a bit of a hiccup, I guess. We have the break, we have the focus time, and we have the finished business video. Great. So this is the thing that needs to be updated. Let me just show you what goes into this on the back end. And this will give you an idea of the potential of such a system. As you saw, it's not perfect, and there are some things that need to be adjusted, but it will take you 90 to 95% of the way there. So if I switch back here, the way this works is as follows. So here we have a Telegram trigger that is waiting for a message to come in. Once a message comes in, this has an if statement, whether or where it decides whether this is a voice note or a text note. If it is a voice note, it goes up the route over here, where it gets the Telegram file, it transcribes the recording, and it sets the recording right here. So here, it would change the voice into the text mode. If it's just a text mode, if it's just a text, then it goes down the spot, where all it does, it sets the field for the input that will eventually here go into the agent. So here, we get the same standard input, or we give the same standard input to the agent. The agent then has access to a few tools. Specifically, it has access to a Google Calendar, which is a get event, where it can get or check, in other words, all of the events that are happening on a specific day. And then we have a create an event, which is where we are able to give it permission to create events. This is connected to OpenAI, so this is sort of the brain of the operation. And when you have an AI agent, it needs to have a brain. It needs to know and understand how it should operate, or the way it operates. You could have OpenAI, you could have Claude, you could have any other sort of large language model connected to that. The important thing is that it has a brain so that it can process the data that you give it. So once that happens, or once that finishes, we go back to Telegram, where we send a message back to the user. And that is what you saw as a response right here. So the thing that I love about this is that it is intelligent, in the sense that I can say, okay, let's, I don't know, what if I wanted to find some time during the day in order to finish my writing assignment? It will probably take 30 minutes. I don't know, let's just see what this will come up with in this specific case. So if I just zoom in here, here are a few possible ways. Option 1, early morning, 10:30 to 11, before your accountant meeting. Option 2 is immediately after lunch, but this would reduce your conf-outer meeting to 1.5 hours. Option 3 is after your break, so you can compress focus time. Option 4 is after work, if you're flexible after 6 p.m. Which option do you prefer, or would you like to swap any activities to make space elsewhere? And I love this sort of logic. It's not just let's do it and then it's not checking anything else and you have overlaps. So what I should have done is actually double check that here where we have the overlap before I started the video, but I was just setting this manually just as a quick demo. But this is checking the calendar and seeing whether there is actual space for us to book specific meetings. If there isn't, it's also suggesting alternative times for that. And with this sort of system, you have the flexibility to not just, number one, you don't have to go in manually to your calendar and add things manually. And number two, it gives you the options the option to have a sort of back and forth discussion. You're not just saying do this, it's checking, it's giving you feedback, and then it's proceeding based on what makes the most sense. Now, the question that you might be thinking is, does this actually give better results? Does it improve your daily time, your daily output? And what I found as I was testing and trialing this over the last 2 to 3 weeks is that there was an increase in real strategic thinking time. There was zero missed client deadlines because I have things in mind. I just put them out or I just dictate them to the Telegram bot and it can then give me feedback, which means that things get created on the calendar and things do not get missed. And there was also better team communication because it's planned, it's not reactive. And soon I might actually be able to take weekends off, which is one thing I'm working on to make happen. But it is one step at a time, so to speak. One thing I would mention is that there is a scary part to this, which is I had to learn to trust it, to say no to urgent interruptions, because the AI showed me that they weren't actually important for business growth. So you can also have this sort of conversation, this back and forth, where you can define what is important and what is not. And then you're sort of speaking to an advisor in order to decide what you should focus on or not. Now, the complete N8N workflow will be in the description below, but my challenge to you is this. What would your business look like if you had time to actually think strategically about it? And my challenge, my invitation is to start with one day. Put your cows into the system and see what strategic time looks like. Because the goal isn't to do less as business owners, is to make sure we're doing the things that actually grow the business instead of just exhausting us. As I said, check out the link in the description below for the full blueprint. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. And in the meantime, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll speak to you soon.